Hey, I'm Jade Ocean. Today I'm going to walk you through a flow to help relieve some pain in your lower back you may be feeling during pregnancy. There's a lot going on in our bodies during pregnancy, and one thing that is happening is we have what's called relax, and I'm sure you've heard of it, being released. And what this does is it loosens up all of our joints, especially in the pelvis area. And so that way then delivery is a little bit easier so the baby can come through its little passage to come out into the world. So, but with that, it's also causing a lot of pain in other areas, including our spine. So I'm going to help you strengthen that area and hopefully, like I said, just relieve some tension. Also too, we have our baby growing inside of us and just putting a lot of tension on our lower back. So we'll work on that today, along with surrounding areas. Okay, so be sure that you have your mat. Always have a glass of water or a bottle of water close by. Keep hydrated. Don't wait for me to tell you. Just take a drink of water when you need to. Have 2 blocks, a bolster, and possibly a blanket for underneath your sitting bones, or also too, you can use it for under your knees. Okay, and I'll meet you on your mat. All right, let's come down into balasana pose. When we're pregnant, we need a little bit more space, obviously, for our bellies. So there's a couple ways we can find some comfort in balasana. So first off, let's open our knees up a little bit wider so we have space between the legs. Let's grab our bolster, or you can also grab your blanket. And what we're gonna do is either place your bolster in front of you, just like this, or you can use your bolster to place it right up on your calves, and so your hips can just fall right on top there. So whichever way feels comfortable for you, go ahead and use it. I'm gonna keep my bolster right behind me just so you can see how that works. And we're just gonna lay our arms straight out in front of us and relax them. You can also come to your forearms. Go ahead and let your forehead come to the top of the mat and just relax. So just taking a few moments here just to settle, to release any tensions in the mind. Let the body just relax and ground down into the earth, into anything that's supporting it right now. If you have the bolster behind you, if you have the bolster in front of you and you're laying on top of it, just surrender, just let your body relax into it. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale, let everything go. And breathing into the back of the heart, letting the face be soft, the eyes be soft. Just noticing where your mind is right now. If you're hanging on to anything maybe that you have going on, just trying to let that just pass right now. Right now we're going to focus on our bodies, on this moment, on the mat only. Try to connect with our baby, our breath. And just letting anything else that's a distraction, just let it go for right now. I'm not going to worry about that. I know these months probably have been maybe a bit emotional for you. Maybe you notice that one minute you're really excited, the next maybe you're stressed out about something. So that's normal. No, it's normal. It's okay. This is what's happening with our minds, our bodies during pregnancy with every woman. It's very, very normal. And just know that you need to take the time for you just to try to settle and know that everything is only temporary. It's not here forever. Stressful moments will pass, as well as those beautiful moments. So try to just really embrace and just soak in all those beautiful moments, and the ones that are rough, just try to get through them the best you can. And let's walk our hands up just a little bit further. You can move your bolster. We're going to bring our hips right over top of our knees. So if you need to walk your knees back, you can. So this is called a puppy or a happy puppy pose here. So our hips are right above our knees, our arms are stretched out. A little bit of an opener with our chest. Deep inhale. Exhale. Open the shoulders up. Let's wiggle the hips side to side just a little bit. And then go ahead and come on up. So we're going to bring our hands, our palms right underneath our shoulders, coming into Manasana, so our tabletop pose. So you can move your bolster back, get it out of the way there. Our toes are going to be pointed back, our knees are right under our hips. Palms are going to be open really wide here, and then we're just going to relax our fingers into the mat here, okay? So spin those triceps back. Find that neutral spine, so we're not dipping right now. We're not pushing our bodies up yet. Right now we're just pressing our shins into the floor, keeping our neck nice and spacious and neutral to our spine too. So we want everything in line. Let's just shake our hips out side to side. So shake to the right, keep the breath coming in, nice deep breath. Inhalation, all the way in through the body, and a nice controlled exhale. Maybe beginning to find your breath that works for you, that allows you to breathe easy, whether that might be breathing through the nose, using maybe ujjayi breath, finding that little ocean sound. Sometimes that helps just to connect to the moment. Maybe you're breathing through your mouth because it's a little bit more difficult, which is also very normal during pregnancy. So just like I said, there's no right or wrong way. Just make sure that you find comfort in your breath. You're able to take a full breath, whatever that may be. And deep inhale. And then let's begin to move the shoulders now. So we're just lubricating the shoulder joints, lubricating the hip joints, just opening everything up, keeping your baby pulling in towards your spine, lifting your baby, keep the space in your neck, almost like we're wagging our tails here and then shimmying our shoulders. Maybe you add your head so you can move your head side to side. And keep the breath going. So trying to move with our breath, not rushing the breath, not rushing the movement, just going at a pace that works for you right now. And then let's come back to center. Take a deep inhale, and then we're going to do some cat-cow. So let's drop our belly, pour our shoulders down our back, and lift our hearts up just a little. Now, sometimes when we're a little bit further, this could be a little bit uncomfortable for us. So if it is, just think of just pulling your heart forward just a little bit, and then just maybe tilting your pelvis down towards the floor just a little bit. No aggression here. You don't need to push anything too much. So take a deep inhale here. This is our cow, and then we're just gonna roll our tailbone down towards our heels. Maybe you press your baby up into your back and then pull it up towards the sky or the ceiling if you're inside. Let your head just roll down towards the floor. And then inhale, let's pull the heart forward again. Maybe you lift your pelvis up. And then let's reverse that. Nice deep exhale, nice and slow. Pressing into the floor, lifting your baby and your body away from the floor, creating that space. Inhale, pulls your shoulders down, lifting your tailbone up. And then exhale. So we're just rolling out the spine right now, creating a little bit of mobility. And exhale. Keep it going. Let's inhale again. Maybe you shift your body back and forth. Just roll out your wrists a little bit. Let the back of your neck just hang on your exhales. Let's do one more. Inhale. Think of pulling your knees apart on the mat. And then exhale. Really create that space between you and the mat. And then let's come back to neutral. We're gonna just do some pointers here. So we're gonna extend first. Let's extend, and maybe you have your bolster behind you. If you do, that's actually nice. You can use your bolster or you can move it. Whichever way is perfectly fine. I'm gonna use my bolster. So I'm gonna extend my right leg just straight back, rolling my inner thigh up. So I'm trying to keep my leg nice and neutral, not spinning open. Press into your toes, curl those toes under, press into the toes, and press that heel straight back. So keep your core nice and strong. Keep your baby pulling into your body. The right hip is pulling down so your hips are level to your mat. Take Take a deep breath in, rock forward or backwards. We're just rolling the ankle out here. Keep the breath going. One more deep inhale. And then exhale. And then let's lift that right heel up so it's in line with our glute. So we don't want to lift it too high. We want to keep baby pulling in. You may notice some feeling on that left hip, and then we're going to extend that left hand maybe up to fingertips. You can walk it forward. Maybe you want to go up for a full sunbird pointer. Deep inhale, arms going to come up, bicep right alongside the ear. Keep breathing. And then exhale, let's roll the spine back into our cat pose. We're going to bring elbow and knee. Deep inhale brings us back out, stretching, reaching forward. And then exhale. Let's inhale again, reaching through the heel, and then draw it into the belly. Again, reaching, and then exhale. One more reach. Hold this, keep holding, and then exhale, let's release it back down. Whew, that's a lot of energy building up on the arm. Okay, let's switch sides here. So first thing we're gonna do is just extend the left leg straight back. Press into those toes, press the heel straight back. Firm that glute, that left glute. Spin those triceps back, don't forget about your arms. We wanna spread the collarbone. Deep inhale here, begin to rock. Just opening up the ankle, loosening the ankle up, the calf, the Achilles, just everything. Keeping your glute nice and firm. And keep that left hip pulling down. Don't forget about baby. Pull your baby in. Keep breathing. And then let's lift that left heel up towards the sky. Remember, level with our glute. We want to keep it spinning from the inner thigh, so we're not rolling the knee out. We want to keep the knee facing the floor here. So keep that leg energizing out through the heel. Maybe we start to walk the right hand up. Fingertip, I call it spider fingers. We can stay here, or we can bring that hand all the way in level. Deep inhale, bicep right by the ear maybe. And then let's exhale. Bring that elbow and the knee towards each other. Don't force it. Baby may be in the way, so just draw them towards each other. Inhale to extend, and then exhale, bring it in. Inhale, bring it out. And exhale, keep your baby pulling in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, extend. One more time. Exhale, bring it in. We'll extend one more time. Hold, hold, hold. Create space. Press away from the floor. And let's release it down. Okay. I know that's a lot. Okay, so let's shake our hips out a little bit. Side to side. Just a couple times. And then let's sink back. We're going to sink back just onto our heels here. Sit back into our virasana. You can keep your knees a little bit wider. You can bring them together. This is the point where you may be able to grab your block. If it's close by, this may be a little more comfortable. And just place your block so it's long, ankle to ankle, right between the ankles, right between the legs, and then sit down with your sit bones right on top of your block. If you choose to use your block, your knees are going to be in line with your hips. So just sitting here, getting off the arms for a minute. Take a deep breath. Extend the arms straight up. And then exhale, have the arms come out to the side. Bring them all the way down. Maybe you grab elbow to elbow behind the back. Maybe you can clasp your hands behind you. If you can, you just swing those elbows behind you to point back. Make sure your shoulders are nice and open. Deep inhale lifts the heart up towards the ceiling or the sky. Draw the shoulders down. If you're grabbing your elbows, all we're doing is just the same thing. We're going to pull the shoulders out away from the spine and back. And just drawing the shoulders down away from the ears, lifting the neck, lifting through the crown of the head, the back of the top of the head. Just creating that space, making sure we're not rolling and pushing our bums out. We want to make sure we're pulling our babies in, lifting our babies up away from the floor as well. Just opening the shoulders. Keep the breath going. Again, sitting nice and tall. finding your breath, finding your comfort, that feeling of stillness in the mind, which is sometimes hard to find. Let's inhale the arms right back up towards the sky. Let's exhale, lower the left hand down to the floor. Now, if you're raised up, you can do spider fingers. We're just gonna reach with the right hand towards the left side, just a little bit of a side bend. Keep pulling those left ribs up. Even though we're dipping that way, we wanna still create space. Inhale, both arms straight up towards the sky. Let's do the same thing opposite way. So right fingertips to the floor, reach with the left hand towards the right side. Lift those right ribs up, inhale, and then exhale, both arms up again. Inhale deeply, exhale, release the hands down, shake the shoulders out. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove our block. If you're using a block, you can move your bolster just right off to the side so it's not in our way. Let's press back into the hands, so hands underneath the shoulders. And then we're gonna curl our toes under and then lift our hips to come into Adho Mukha, so our down dog. So make sure that with your down dog, your hands aren't hurting in the wrist area. So if that's happening, what you can do, I'll just show you a little trick, is you can bring your blocks to the mat, lay them flat right in front of you, and then hopefully your blocks are really strong. If not, you can go on top. But if they're nice strong blocks, it's very helpful just to press onto the edge of the block with your palm. So if not, it's fine. You can stay up here. You just have to be pretty careful that you don't slide forward. So what this does is being elevated on the blocks just helps relieve some tension and some pressure on the hand. So I'll show you how to do it. It's pretty easy. I'm gonna just come like this, lift the hips up, press into the blocks. Same thing, spin the triceps back, create that space between you and your mat. Make sure you're grounding down into your foundation, whatever it's touching the floor. So you're, even though now we've lifted the floor, your blocks are now your foundation, where your toes are into your mat. You want to press there, rooting down, lifting up, opening up the hamstrings, which are connected to our back. So we want to open those guys up, relieve some tension. Deep inhales, soft exhales, maybe pedaling out into the knees a little bit. Let's lift the heels up, keep pressing the hips back. Take a full breath into the back of the heart. Spin the triceps to face your quads, on top of your thighs, and then lower the heels down. Again, let's lift the heels up. Keep pressing into the blocks or the floor. Lower the heels down. Inhale to lift up, and then exhale to lower them back down. So if you're not on your blocks, maybe lift up to your blocks right now. What we're gonna do is just lift our right leg just in line with our hips, so we don't need to go too high. Shift our body forward, so we're in a little plank, and then just bring that right foot to the right side of the right block. And let's lower, maybe you grab your towel, lower your left knee down, uncurl the toes to point back. Take a deep inhale here, pull the heart forward, and then exhale. Let's extend our hips back. We're gonna bring our right toe up, grab your blocks, bring them with you. We're just gonna come into a half split here. So I bring my blocks so they're tall. With the half split, make sure that your knee isn't just collapsing down. So we wanna keep our quad a little bit strong. It feels as though I'm just digging my heel kind of into the floor here. And what that does is it keeps that hamstring active. So keep pulling the toes in towards you. My blocks are nice and tall. I'm not rounding my back here. I'm trying to stay up nice and tall. So I'm pulling my right leg into that right hip. Deep inhale, really stretch out, push back. Exhale, try to be nice and tall here with your spine. I know this is an intense stretch in those hamstrings. Deep inhale, all the way to the top. And exhale, keep baby pulling up away from the floor. Think of pulling your hips in towards each other. One more breath in. Pull those toes a little bit closer. Try to pull the pinky toe in towards you. I know. And then let's walk those blocks out. Rebend the knee. You can lay the blocks back to flat. We're just gonna stay right here for just a second in our low lunge. Pull the heart forward, really lower that left hip down. So we're just opening up that hip flexor right there. Deep inhale, squeeze your glute, that left glute. Make sure that your knee's not pushing over that front heel, so walk your foot up if you need to. Take a deep breath here. All right, and then exhale, let's bring that right foot right back. So we're in tabletop here. We're gonna adjust ourselves so we can come right back to our down dog. So if you're on your blocks, stay on your blocks. Inhale. Slow, controlled exhale. Let's lift the heels up and lower. Lift the heels up again, inhale, and lower to exhale. Keep a slight bend in the knees, lift and lower. Lift the knees again, lift the heels again, and then lower the heels. All right, so let's lift now the left leg. So let's lift it up just in line with our glutes, so not too high. Shift our body forward, same thing like we did before. We're gonna bring that left foot to the outside of the left block. Let's lower the right knee down and curl the toes to point straight back. Take a breath here, pull your heart forward, staying here in our lizard lunge. Deep breaths. Exhale. Okay, let's bring our blocks with us. We're gonna come up taller and begin to walk back. Begin to press that left heel into the floor. Hips are going to be back over the right knee. Pull the toes up to flex towards you. Remember, keep that spine nice and tall, nice and straight. Exhale, slight bend in the front knee. Think of pulling the heel back, even though we're not actually pulling it back. We're digging it into the floor. Maybe you go a little further, keep pulling that peaky toe in towards you. You know this is a lot. Keep the shoulders pulling down, keep the heart pulling forward. Space in the neck, soften the face. You may be clenching right now because this is tough. Stay with me. Keep baby pulling up and in. Think of that lifting feeling from below. One more deep breath. Exhale, let's walk those blocks up. Rebend the knee. Let's resettle our blocks onto their sides here, nice and flat. Pull the heart forward. Inhale. Just going to dip that hip down towards the floor. Really open up that front hip flexor. Keep the glute nice and strong. And what's the glute connected to? Our back. We want to make sure it's nice and strong for us. Okay, let's exhale. Let's bring that left foot back. So we're going to come back into our tabletop. Shake the hips out. Let's come off the block. So walk back if you need to, back into our tabletop or manasana. We're just going to create little rotation circles with our hips. So think of your sacrum, which is that little triangle bone at the base of the spine. We're just making little circles with it. So be sure that you're lifting baby up into the body. We're not drooping here. We want to keep our spine nice and strong. Keep circulating. So focus on the breath, focus on the steadiness of the movement. So the grounding of your shins if they're pressing into the floor, your knees, your hands, and then the space and the softness that comes with it. And then let's switch the rotation. Keep the breath fluid. One more circle, all the way around, back to neutral. And then let's bring our hands right back up to the block. You can walk forward if you need to. So hands are on the block. We're going to curl the toes. Make sure they're a little bit wider so we have space for baby. Let's lift right back up into our Adho Mukha. Full breath into the back, into the ribs, and exhale. Let it go through the mouth. Good, relax those heels now. Let's come up, lift the heels up nice and tall. We're gonna come up to the toes and then step up, just a little baby step with your right foot and then left foot, and then come to your fingertips and let's step up again with the right foot and the left foot all the way up to the block. So we're in our nice wider than our hip distance here. And a forward fold in Uttanasana. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. You can use your blocks, use your shins very gently. Pull the heart forward, create nice space in the spine. Draw the shoulders down. Exhale, let it hang. Let your head hang. Maybe you can grab the back of your ankles and just shift your hips side to side. Let your back just surrender. So keep your knees bent. Make sure you have enough space for baby to fall through here. We want to keep lifting up, even though we're kind of in this weird inversion here. We still want to lift up, lift baby up. Keep breathing. Shift the hips side to side. You're also welcome to grab your elbows, cross your arms. I like doing this because it lets the sides just hang and stretch. Let your head relax, your neck relax. Just take some pressure off your spine. We're always upright, so gravity is always pushing down on our spine, compressing everything. This just feels so nice and spacious. Let's release our fingers back down to our blocks. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale. And then let's come all the way up to standing. Arms can come straight up towards the sky or ceiling. If you're inside, let's shake the hips out. And then let's just draw the hands right down into Anjali. Thumbs to touch your heart. Just notice where your heart is right now. If it's beating really fast, just take a few breaths nice and slow just to recenter. Keep your glutes nice and firm. Spin those inner thighs back. What we want is we want these thighs to face forward. So wherever that is for you, whatever movements you need to make to get those thighs facing forward, you want to keep that tailbone pulling down. Keep lifting baby. Keep pulling baby into the body. Press into the palms. Spread the shoulders. Spread the collarbone. Deep inhale. Pressing into the feet evenly. Lift the arches up. Exhale. Another full breath in. And exhale. Let's inhale, and we're going to sink our hips back, coming into Utkatasana. So sink the hips back, keep the knees behind the toes, reach the arms in front of you or overhead. We want to keep the baby lifting. So this isn't a dipping in the lower back. We want to keep that back as neutral as possible. Keep a lot of weight in the heels, a lot of weight in the legs. Use those quads, those hamstrings to keep you upright. Deep breath in, shoulders are down, triceps are spinning forward. Keep the breath going. And inhale to stand up, bring your hands to heart center. Again, let's sink the hips back, shoot the arms straight out in front or overhead, back into Utkatasana. Deep breath, and then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale here, lift straight up. Arms come straight up overhead, sink back into Utkatasana. Stay here. Keep the breath going. Keep baby pulling in. Keep those legs nice and strong. Arms can come out to the side this time. Forward fold right into your Uttanasana. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Nice full breath in. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Let's just come right back into Utkatasana this time. So watch the knees are behind the toes. Deep inhale. Stay for the exhale. Keep baby pulling in. Keep your tailbone pulling down. Nice and strong in the legs. And then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale, right back to Utkatasana. One last time. Stay for the exhale. And build that energy, that strength that we need to get through this. You and your baby are doing this together. You guys are strong enough. I know you can do it. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Let's Lift forward, halfway lift. And then exhale, let's press into our blocks, and we're gonna step back with our left leg straight back. So we're coming right to a lunge here with our foot behind the block this time. Deeply inhale here. And then let's press into that right heel, and then let's come up to our right thigh, and we're just gonna press ourselves right up into our crescent pose. Deep breath in. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, let's open up to our Vira 2. So heel's gonna go behind us, toes are pointed forward here towards the side of the mat. Right knee is opening up with the toes facing the front of the mat. Reach those arms out, tuck that right hip underneath, keep that back leg nice and strong, energizing out. Deep breath, and exhale. Let the shoulders be soft. Maybe you gaze over your front fingers. Nice and strong here. Think of pulling the mat in towards each other, so you're really like just gripping it in. Lifting baby up. Keep the breath fluid. Inhale, release the back arm down. We're gonna just reach up overhead with the right hand. Right behind us, keep energizing through that back, outer edge of the back foot. Exhale, let's come right back to Vira 2. Inhale, straighten that front leg. And let's press that right hip back, lean forward from the hip. Maybe grab your block, place it right behind that ankle, that right ankle. We're just gonna shift that right hip back, keep pressing through the back leg, coming into our Trikonasana. Lower the hands down maybe to the block, and then if you can reach straight up towards the sky. Maybe you look that way. We wanna keep space in the right side of the torso. Even though we're dipping over here, you wanna keep pulling this back. Keep the breath going. Nice full breath in. Keep grounding down through that front big toe. Inhale brings us right back up to neutral. Pivot the right foot forward. So both feet are parallel to the front of the mat. We're in this big wide stance. Now you can close your stance up, or you can keep it a little bit wider. What I want you guys to have the outer edge of your heels, make sure that they're digging into the floor, the outer edge of your feet. We want to make sure that they're glued down to the floor. So keep these quads nice and firm. Deep inhale, bring your hands up. Exhale, let's sink the hips back. So we're in a wide squat here. Stay here for just a second. Deep breath in. Let's come right back up, stand straight up. And then exhale, sink it back down. Hands come right back to the heart. Nice wide squat. Inhale, bring it back up. And then exhale, let's forward fold. So keep your quads lifting. Keep sealing the outer edge of your feet to the mat. Keep lifting your glutes right up to the sky. Deep breath into the back of the heart. And then exhale, just let your body hang. So with each breath, we're just sinking a little bit lower. Sternum's just come a little bit closer to the floor. Stretching out our back. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Lift halfway up. And then exhale, let's just walk our hands to the left foot. So we want to keep our hips even. Keep our hips right where they are. Don't move the hips. We're just going to walk around the left foot here. Reach with the right hand as far as you can. Stretch out the back. Stay for the exhale. Keep that left hip pulling towards the center. Let's exhale. Let's come right back to center. Fold forward. Inhale brings us halfway up again. Let's walk the hands to the right foot now. So reaching with that left foot, that left hand, just reaching out as far as we can. Keep the right hip pulling towards the center. Deep breath in. Stay for the exhale. Inhale again. Let's come right back to center. Fold it down. Exhale. Inhale halfway up. Let's bring our hands right to our hips, bend the knees, and we're going to sit all the way up. Arms can come straight up. Let's pivot the heels in. So our toes and our knees are gonna point towards the corner of the mat, and then lower the hands. We're gonna circle them down, come right back up, and then we're gonna bring our hands right. The hands are gonna face each other, right to the top, crossing at the wrists. Keep the hips sinking back. Keep pressing evenly through the feet, mainly in the heels. Deep breath in. Let's stay here. Exhale. Let's stand up, swish the hands down, and then we're just going to extend them straight back right into a flying. Deep breath. Pull the shoulders down. Inhale brings us right back up. Cross those hands. Touch the palms. Sink it right back down. And stay here. Keep breathing. Inhale, stand up, bend forward, fly those hands straight back. Deep breath. Exhale, swish those hands, maybe cross in the opposite direction. Bring it right overhead, sink the hips back and down. Deep breath. And keep the breath going. Stand up one more time. Arms fly straight back. Release the hands down. Let the head just hang. Maybe sway the hips side to side. And then let's come right back up. Halfway lift to inhale. Bring the hands right to the hips and bend the knees. Let's stand up. Okay. Let's heel toe the feet together. And then turn around. Let's walk right back to the front. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So take a deep breath. Make sure your feet are about hip distance apart. Take a deep breath. Arms are going to come up. Exhale. Just fly it out to the side. Straight down to Uttanasana. Inhale. Halfway lift. Exhale. Place your hands on the block. We're going to step back, pressing into the left foot. Step back with the right foot this time. Nice full breath in. Pull the heart forward. Heels bright, pressing straight back. And let's press into that left heel. Make sure your knee is either over the heel, behind the toes. We're going to press into that left thigh. Lift it up, coming into our crescent. Arms can come up. Stay breathing. Deep inhale. Keep that right glute nice and firm. Keep pulling the left hip back. Try to keep those hips as square to the front of the mat as you can. Keep energizing through that back heel and that back leg. Keep pressing that thigh away from the floor. Lifting baby up. And let's inhale. Let's extend the heel to the side. We're going to open the arms up into our Vira too. So again, shoulders are square to the side. Maybe turning, looking over the left hands. Keep the knee and the foot pointed towards the front of the mat. And keep energizing back with that right leg. Nice and strong. Soften the shoulders down. Inhale, lifts the ribs up away from the pelvis. Exhale, create the space. Inhale, release the right hand down along the side of the thigh. Reach up overhead with the left hand towards the right side. And then exhale, right back to Vira 2. Inhale, let's straighten that front leg, keeping a micro bend, a little soft bend in the knee. Deep breath in here. And we're going to begin to shift, hinging from the left hip. As we pull that left hip back, we're pressing into that front toe. Grab your block and place it right behind the ankle of the left foot. Keep pulling, keep sealing that back leg down, that back foot down. Maybe release the hands to the block. Twist open to the right side and reach maybe up to the sky with your hands. Into Trikonasana. Deep inhale and exhale. Keep that space in the left side of the torso. Keep that left torso elongated. One more breath here. And exhale. Inhale, come right back up. Reach the arms out. Let's pivot that left foot so both feet are parallel. I'm going to turn towards you so you can see me. You guys can stay where you are. So we're right back in our Prasarita pose. Arms can come up overhead. Full breath in. Bring your hands to heart center. Drop your chin down. Just take a moment, shake the hips side to side. Very slow with the breath. Inhale, hands come right back up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive all the way down, keeping the thighs lifting. Soft bend in the knees, let the head hang. Maybe swaying the shoulders side to side, keeping the hips level right into the center, not letting them move. Inhale, halfway lift. And let's bring our hands right to our thighs. Lift all the way up. Let's pivot those heels back in. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Press into the palms, let the elbows extend out. Really open your chest up. Keep baby lifting and then pulling in towards your body. We're gonna sink our hips right down as low as we can go. Let's stay here and breathe. Keep the breath going. Don't lose that connection with your breath. I know this is hard. Staying here maybe in the beginning seems really easy, but it gets harder as time passes. So remember, I told you everything is temporary, so keeping that in mind, keep that focus on breathing. With each breath, time passes, and you know that time passes, things pass, so just keep breathing, keep focusing on anything you can to keep yourself nice and strong and keep your mind nice and relaxed. Think of that breath coming in through your body, down straight to your baby. Energizing your baby, fueling your baby with nourishment. And a feeling of calmness, of soothing. Even when we go through a rough time, we have to keep our babies nice and calm, let them know everything's okay. Stay here just a little bit longer. Try to stay low. All right, let's stand right back up. Arms gonna come up right overhead. Take a deep inhale, reach through the side body. Let's pivot our feet back forward. Exhale, fly it all the way down, Prasarita. You can grab your elbows here, just let everything hang. Keep the thighs lifting, keep the glutes lifting. Take a deep breath into the back of the heart, the side of the ribs. Exhale, just let everything just sink towards the floor. Keep the legs nice and strong in your support system here. Let's inhale, halfway lift, release your hands to the floor. Bring your hands right up to your little creases, all the way back up. Let's heel toe the feet back together. And let's walk back to the front of the mat. Okay, we're almost there. We're gonna do one last pose here. So let's come back to Tadasana. Just bring your hands right back to heart center. Just recenter ourselves. Ready? Let's shift our weight to our right foot, and we're going to lift our left foot to step right back into our crescent pose. So keep pressing from the right heel, keep that back leg just pressing straight back. If you need to stand up a little bit more, that's perfectly fine. Find your balance and make sure that you don't feel out of balance or out of whack here, so you can always heel toe the right leg out towards the side if you need to, just for a little bit more stability here. So keep that left hip pulling forward, keep the leg pressing away, keep that ankle nice and relaxed, and lift baby up. Keep the breath going right down to him. And then we're gonna pivot our bodies forward, bending from the hip. We're gonna press into the front heel and just lift our back heel straight up. Maybe you keep your foot on the floor. Maybe you come all the way up into 0-3. So keep that left hip pulling down. You want to spin the inner thigh of the lifted leg up and back. Deep inhale, keep pressing into the palms. Find your balance. Keep that right hip pulling in. Come on, we can do this, mamas. Deep inhale. Let's shift our body straight up. We're going to bring that left knee up and then cross the left ankle over the front of the right thigh. Keep your hands in prayer. Keep pressing into the midline. Find your balance. Let's sink the hips right back. Lift the arms in front of you, or you can lift it up overhead. Keep that left foot flexing. Deep breath. And then exhale, stand up. Release that left foot, shake it out. Maybe you bring your hands to baby and just sway side to side. Just rock your baby. Let it know everything's okay. Okay, we're going to do the other side now. And bring your hands to heart center. Deep inhale. Arms are going to come out to the side, straight up for an inhale. Exhale, swan dive all the way down. Stretch that right hamstring. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Bring your hands all the way up, Hastasana, and then draw your hands right back to heart center. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. So let's shift our weight into our left foot this time. We're gonna lift the right foot and step right back into our crescent pose. So make sure, again, knee is behind, either over or behind that front heel. We're pressing into the heel. We're pressing into the heel. Keep energizing back through the back leg. And feel free to widen your stance if you need to for your balance. Keep breathing deeply. Keep that left hip pulling back. We want to keep our hips nice and even to the front of the mat. Keep pressing through the palms, lifting in towards the midline, lifting up towards the sky. Rooting down, finding our base, finding our support. Keep breathing. We're going to pivot forward, bending from the hip, and then maybe you just lift your heel up, come up to the tippy toe. Maybe you go in for a full Vira 3, lifting your heel up, keep that foot nice and flexed. Keep the right hip pulling down, spinning from the inner thigh. Find your balance. Deep breath, keep breathing. Pressing into the palms, spread the collarbone. Stay here, keep it going. Find your center, find your strength. Keep lifting baby up away from the floor. And let's begin to shift forward. Maybe you drag your foot on the floor. Maybe you come all the way up, lift the knee forward, and then let's cross that right ankle over the top of the left thigh. Flex the foot and sink back. Take a full breath. I know this leg is just burning. Extend your hands forward. Find your balance. Keep the breath going, nice and strong. And then let's exhale. Hands come to heart center, stand straight up. Release the right foot down. Very good. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, press into the blocks. Let's step back, left leg followed by right leg. Lower the knees down. Sink those hips back and just extend our arms forward. Take a break here. You can sink your hips all the way back, or you can keep them right up in puppy pose, right where we started. And let your forehead come to the top of the mat. Just really open your shoulders up. Just recentering, reconnecting with the breath. Let's come on up, press into the palms, stretch, and let's sink the hips back. And let's sink the hips back. Let's roll our legs over the right side, and then we're just gonna come onto the mat. Keep your left leg bent in, so the bottom of the foot's gonna press into your right thigh, and your right thigh is kind of out to the, or right leg is right out to the side here. Sit up nice and tall. Now maybe this is a little bit harder for you, which usually these folds are a little harder for me, so grab your little rolled up blanket and you can place it right underneath your sitting bones so it tips your hips forward a little bit here. That might be a little bit more helpful for you. So sit up nice and tall. Let's bring our arms out to the side, straight up. Nice full breath in. And then exhale, let's extend right hand towards the shin of the right leg. And we're just going to keep reaching up overhead, the left arm. Let's come right back up, both hands. Exhale, release the left hand to the floor, reach up with the right hand. Keep pressing into the floor with the left hand and lifting the left ribs up. So you're trying to keep your body away from the floor. Deep inhale, reaching with the right hand towards the left side. And then exhale, right arm's gonna come down. You can grab your blocks for this one, just to keep yourself elevated a little bit, or maybe you can fold forward a little bit. I'm gonna use my blocks and just walk my blocks up. So up nice and tall here. Keep that right hip pressing into the, if you're on your little blanket, if you're on your mat, just keep it pressing down. Keep flexing that right foot up, toes pointed towards you, and then exhale, we're just gonna walk forward. So you can walk forward with your blocks. Maybe you can come, maybe you have this space to come a little bit more forward and roll forward. Just stretching the hamstring. And then let's walk it up. Let's move our blocks back towards the front of the mat. Let's switch legs. So now we're going to bring the right foot in towards the left thigh and extend the left leg out. So same thing like we did on the other side. So deep breath, extend the arms out to the side, lift them straight up. And then we're going to exhale, we're going to just turn open towards the right knee from the torso, and then release the left hand down to the shin or to your toe, flex the toes up, and then reach up overhead with the right hand. Keep the left ribs lifted. Continue breathing. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, release the right hand to the floor. Press into the floor. Reach with the left hand towards the right side. Keep grounding that left hip down into your blanket, into the mat, whatever you're touching. Keep the shoulder pulling down on the right side. And then let's release that left arm down. Grab your blocks again, and then you can walk your blocks up. Step nice and tall. And you can walk your blocks forward just to shift your body forward from your hips. And you can also come to your forearms on your blocks. Have your head rest on your forearms. Nice full breath into your heart. Exhale, release everything from the practice. All right, let's come out of our Janusirasana. Let's move our blocks up to the top of the mat again. And then actually what we're going to do is roll back. So just for a moment, we're going to roll back. We can move our blocks off to the side for this. You can use a blanket behind you for your back. I'm just going to show you how to do this, or you can use a bolster, which actually I'm going to do the bolster just to show you how to do this. So I'm going to lay my bolster right behind me, and then I'm going to have my feet planted into the mat, and I'm just going to roll right over top of my bolster here. So we're just going to do some bridges here for just a moment. Your hands could just lay softly alongside of you. You can have your palms facing down or up, whatever feels comfortable to you. Tuck your shoulder blades right underneath of you. Pull your shoulders down. Take a deep breath, and what we want to do is get our heels pretty close to us. Our knees are hip distance. We're going to press into the heels and then begin to lift, but we're not going to come up too high. What we're going to do is tilt our hips. So we're going to tilt our tailbone down towards the back of the knees as we lift. And then we're going to lift up and pull in, lifting our pelvic floor towards our upper body. So we want to really drive through the heels and then pull that pelvic floor up and in. So let's press into the floor. Deep inhale lifts us up. Let's tip, really pull, open up the hamstrings, the quad, or open up the quads. Soften the face. Now think of lifting the pelvic floor. We're squeezing but lifting. Deep breath in. Exhale, slowly come right back down and release. Very, very controlled, nice and slow. Let's do that again. We're gonna press through the heels, lift the hips up, tilt that tailbone, really lifting, pulling up, lifting that pelvic floor up in towards the body, nice and slow. Lift, lift, lift. And then begin to release the pelvic floor, release the hips down nice and slow as you exhale. All right, let's keep going. Let's do 3 more. Let's lift again and tilt the hips. Keep the neck nice and neutral. Think of lifting up, lifting the baby up into the body. Deep breath in. Keep pressing through the heels. And then very carefully release everything back down to the floor. 2 more times. Lift. Lifting your pelvic floor, lifting it up all the way. Think of it coming up like it's coming up floors, like it's an elevator lifting up through your body. And then slowly begin to release on the exhale. Nice and controlled. 1 more time. Take a breath. And then we're gonna lift, press through the heels, lift. Tilt that pelvis. Lifting the pelvic floor up, up, up. Keep going, you got this. And then begin to release everything nice and slow. Okay, let's stretch those legs out. Flex the heels, flex the toes back towards us. Deep breath in. Let everything just collapse. Let's very carefully roll up, pressing into the palms. Let's just open our feet out for one last little guy here. So we're gonna open our feet, our knees out to the side, bring our feet together. So we're in our Baddha Konasana. We're just gonna sit up nice and tall. You can grab onto your shins here, your ankles, down by the ankles, and lift up nice and tall. Just a deep breath in. Open your hips up and exhale. Stay nice and tall, pull your shoulders down. Inhale, let's drop our right ear to the right shoulder, lifting the left neck up. Stay for the exhale, drop the shoulders down. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, drop the shoulders down. Let's lower the left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhale, the right side up. Exhale, lower the shoulders, keep lifting. And then let's release, bringing the head right back to neutral. One more deep inhale and exhale. We have our bolster already set up, so we're gonna come down for our final Shavasana. So you can just leave it where it is, come to your side and just collapse over top of it. Use your elbow to stick out and your bicep as a pillow, so you can stay here. You can also elevate it. I'm gonna show you how to do that with blocks, which I love to do. I just like to show people how to do this. As long as you have a sturdy bolster or a pillow that's long enough to do this, and sturdy blocks, then this is a wonderful little resting Shavasana pose. So one is going to be nice and tall, the other block's going to lay flat, so there's space in between, and you can lay your sturdy bolster right over top, and we're just going to come and sit right against it, and then just lean back, let your arms fall to the sides. You can have your knees in any position, so you can have your feet up, you can collapse them in, you can have them extended out. I like to bring mine up. And then let's just seal in our practice. So Our backs are now a little bit stronger, a little bit more open. Our bodies feel just a little bit more energized. Our minds maybe feel a little bit stiller, a little calmer. Our babies have come along with us for another little ride in our yoga journey. Full breath in. And exhale everything out. Let the face soften. Just let everything melt off your bolster. Just noticing how your body feels. Maybe you're still gripping onto some thoughts. Just let that pass by right now. Right now we're not doing anything besides just resting.